Hello, I'm Mariam Saab in Paris. Welcome to Encore's Music Show. Coming up. Tipped as the man to take classical music into rock star territory, pianist Simon Ghraichy's unique style sprung from his mixed upbringing. Born to a Mexican mother and Lebanese father, he was brought up here in France. Now Simon stems the notes between Latin and French composers to create a melting pot of harmony on his new album, Heritages. He joins us in the studio. Simon, the music maker with the wild mane, thanks for being here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, I'm not just teasing you. Your hair has become something of a trademark, has it not?
Yes, it's my trademark.
It's become known to represent your spirit as an artist. You know, it kind of reminds me of the story of Samson. Have you heard of that story?
Yeah, sure.
The biblical tale of the man who couldn't cut his locks, otherwise he'd lose his superhuman strength. Is your hair the secret to your powers, do you think?
Sometimes, yes. I'd love to think that if I cut off my hair, then I will lose my ability to play piano, to play fast.
Well, you better let it grow out then.
Yes.
Let's take a look at you and your hair in action. Now, you were born in Lebanon.
Yeah.
You moved to Mexico, where your mother's from, to escape the civil war. And you settled here in France at the age of 12. So is your heart torn three ways, or do you have three hearts?
Oh, I think my one heart is torn three ways.
It is?
Because I'm very attached to all three parts of my identity. I love sometimes feeling Mexican, sometimes feeling Lebanese, and well, most of the time feeling French because I think I'm 150% Parisian. And I love this country which has adopted me in somehow and became a citizen and part of it.
I imagine the food is pretty good at home, being Mexican,
yeah.
French, and Lebanese. What are some of your favorites?
Well, that's the good part, because when you have such a diverse heritage, you got to eat really well. And well, my favorite Lebanese dish, I think, is kafta and hummus.
Oh, I love some kafta.
I love
I'm
hummus.
Also
of
Lebanese origin.
Yeah,
so
I'm
I
going to
understand what
Lebanon
that tastes
tomorrow,
like.
so I'm so looking forward to eat some. And Mexican food, I think my favorite would be mole.
Mole.
The mole poblano.
Oh, what's mole poblano?
Mole is a spice which has a mix of different spices and some chocolate also in it, which gives it this kind of sweet and sour taste. You eat it with some meat, probably chicken, and some rice. And there's all the almonds and dried raisins and all kinds of yummy things on it. It's my favorite.
Oh, you're making us really hungry.
Oh, yeah.
Now, as you mentioned, you're going to Lebanon tomorrow. You've been able to share your gift across the three countries. You played with the Lebanese National Symphony Orchestra at some of the biggest festivals in the country and the State of Mexico Symphony Orchestra. How did that feel?
It feels great. It feels absolutely great to have the chance to take classical music out of the mainstream roads, and I'm very happy to perform in great halls like Carnegie Hall in New York or Théâtre des Champs-Élysées last week in Paris, but also to be able to take the music out of the main roads and to go to countries like Lebanon, where it's maybe not expected, but there's a huge crowd who loves classical music and who enjoy it very well, and in Mexico as well, and all Latin America. It's such a pleasure to share this beautiful music with upcoming publics.
Your background may be mixed, but it's carved out a very unique musical identity that's separate from the rest. How did the pieces come together on your latest record, Heritages?
Well, Heritages is about bridges between cultures, between countries, and between these three sides of my heart that we were just speaking about. So you will find Latin American composers such as Mexicans, Arturo Márquez or Ponce, Cuban composers such as Ernesto Lecuona, Brazilian composers like Villa-Lobos. Villa-Lobos wrote a piece called New York Skyline. Just for the anecdote, he put a music paper on a postcard from New York and he tried to follow the skyline of New York, and then his imagination did the rest. He did not even visit New York by the time. So he took us somehow in New York in his imagination. And then there's a bridge which takes us to Spain, where we can meet some Andalusian composers like Manuel de Falla, and who speaks of Andalusia, speaks of Arabic culture, because Andalusia has been a lot under Arabic influence. So it's all about influences like like me.
Wonderful. So it's a world tour.
Yeah.
Let's get a feel for the album with Azurius. Wild performance.
Thanks.
You've been cast as something of a rock star, Simon, in a very prim and proper classical world, interpreting the repertoire of the likes of Liszt to critical acclaim. Now, did you ever feel the pressure to conform, and how did you break away from that?
Well, I never liked conformism, and I cannot be a product of conformism when you are yourself based on three different cultures. So I think it was not a decision, it was just being myself. And since I was a student, I was a young student at the Paris Conservatory, I always was attracted to what's new, to what's different, to new composers, to discoveries. And I never refused any single collaboration or any single discovery around the world. So I think that's my strength. And that made me discover all these lovely new composers from Latin America, which were deserved to be brought up to the general public, but also to the very specialized classical music audience, because they are classical composers before all.
Now, another artist who's pushing the mark is Anohni. Transgender British-American musician heads up our new releases of the week. Paradise is the title track from the EP companion to last year's critically acclaimed and searingly political record Hopelessness, which saw Anohni turn drone strikes into a love ballad. The latest release is her eco call to arms against man's destruction of the natural world. On the clip for Paradise, Anohni moves through reflections of different images of bliss, according to director Colin Whitaker. Take a look. Simon, that's Paradise by Anohni. Tell me, what's your idea of paradise?
You really want to know?
I really want to know.
When I was 8 years old, I was kind of confused with all these questions. What's afterlife? What's death? What's paradise? My mother, who is a psychiatrist, I asked her, so what's after life? And she told me, it's all music. And I really think that paradise is music. So actually, it's kind of my daily life.
Wow, that's beautiful. I like that. Keeping with the genre, Essex electro rock outfit Depeche Mode are back 4 years after they gave us Delta Machine with their 14th studio album Spirit. Frontman David Gahan says the record explores, quote, humanity and our place in that. The dystopian cut, Where's the Revolution, captures the state of urgency that resonates throughout the album. The clip was directed by music video maestro Anton Corbin. Take a look.
Where's the revolution? Come on, you let me down. Where's the revolution? Come on, you're letting me down.
In support of Spirit, Depeche Mode will be embarking on the Global Spirit Tour, starting with stadiums around Europe in May. That brings us to a hip-hop heavyweight whose music, like yours, Simon, is rooted in his Latin American heritage. Pitbull is dropping album number 10, Climate Change. Miami's favorite rapper is back after winning a Grammy last year with a politically charged and environmentally conscious record, and he's brought his star pals along for the ride. Jennifer Lopez, Enrique Iglesias, Robin Thicke and Flo Rida are just a few of the big cameos. Now, Simon, Pitbull has been quite outspoken about, in terms of his criticism for Donald Trump on issues like immigration and climate change. You're Mexican. You often travel to New York. You live there sometimes. How does what's happening politically right now impact you?
It bothers me a lot. And I'm Mexican, but I'm also Lebanese, and I'm Arabic, and I'm French, and I'm so many little things and minorities. And at the same time, what I search for in my art and my music is openness, is building bridges, as we were saying, with heritages, is opening borders and making this available for everybody. So I cannot have any kind of consideration for someone who wants to build walls and who is preaching reclusiveness and closeness and narrow-mindedness. I think it's a shame.
So you stand with Pitbull on that one. We're going to leave you with the track options from Pitbull. Thank you for joining us, Simon, and sharing all of your lovely insights. Everyone, go check out Heritages. Remember our website, connect with us on social media. There's more coming up on France 24 right after this. That's Options by Pitbull. Take a look.
I seen them come and go. I seen them sell their souls. You my number one draft pick. Baby, let's pick and roll. I always keep you up on a pedestal. Misery loves company. Baby, don't sweat these hoes.
I got a whole lot of names and a whole lot of numbers, but I throw them away, cause I think I might love you. Could be the Mary Jane or the spell that I'm under, but I know what this could be. Pairing